Hi, I'm AprilPvd, and this is my virtual reality. I hope you enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Right, Kojiko? Oh, here we go. Maybe this will work. Hello. Welcome to my AprilPvd Zenith tutorial part 2. So, I'm going on a low server population just because, I don't know, maybe it's less lag. It may just be, and it's also less people you'll run into because I'm going to be talking out loud. And keep in mind, while I'm talking, people around me can hear me. So I'm going in on my tutorial tune. And so you've made your tune and you've ended up in Skyland. There are many advantages to being in Skyland. So the first thing you want to do, that I always do when I first log in, is I click comfort settings and click recenter. Sometimes when your knees are bent like that and you can't reach your weapons, again, I think I went too high. So anytime you can't comfortably reach your weapon, try the recenter button. Now, you could be tempted to continue on with Mika's quest. And that's fine, and that's good, but I want to tell you what I would do on my day 2 of being in Zenith. And it's interesting because the next thing I want to tell you about, and we're going to ignore that button right now. We're going to get back to that button. But it's these things. These are pets. Pets that you can have. And I'm going to get rid of my HUD for right now because it's bothering me. So I want to tell you about pets. And I think that's the second thing you should do once you get off the island. Now, just to familiarize yourself, here is the map. You start off in Skyland. You actually start off on the Skyland airship. And that's where you came from, up there. Now, I'm on PCVR right now, and I want to point that out because PCVR is different from standalone. So maybe when you're on your standalone, you're not going to be able to see. That's the Celestial Throne. You'll learn more about that, and then that's where we came from. And this is Skyland. This is a small piece of the whole Zenith map. So when the rest of us started, well, some of us started, we started in Underside. And then after that, we started in the Academy. And then they created the Skyship. So you have options. You can stick around here. One of the main reasons for sticking around here is that you get to use your grappling hook. And we talked about that in part 1. This thing, you get to do this, which lets you, do this to hit these anchors and propel you above. But I'm going to say to you, don't follow through on Mika's second quest yet, because there is something called the agent rank. Now let's go over your menu. You press the X button, or if you're on the standalone, you press the Oculus button on your left hand, and it brings up this menu. You have a bunch of boxes down here. Let's go over all of them real quick. The first one is your inventory. shows you everything you have, and it shows you your current average level. I'm average level 1. Your average item level is different from your tune's current level. There's 2 different levels. There's item level or gear level, and then and I'm going to show you, I am level 2. But my item level, because my gear is all, see, item level 1, I'm going to have average item level 1. Now, 2 things about your person here. This is your person. This is your representation of you. Now, I like to sometimes put this menu on a step or something, like and so that I can then go down and look around at my character. She's wearing, you can see the gear is represented here, and you can see it there. So this is your gear. Now you have 2 slots for your gear. You have for your equipment. You have your regular gear and what you're going to come to know as cosmetics. Now, I have no cosmetics right now. So the cosmetics is empty. It's kind of a way to change what your gear looks like so that you have a uniform look. Now, you have 4 slots in your inventory. General, and this is your main one, and you have 3 pages. Now, we're going to go over inventory management later, but right now these are where your stuff will go whenever you pick up anything. So you start out with some basic baking things, and we'll get into baking in a little bit. And then everything you pick up comes in here. I got this, and we talked about yesterday about how you can put things in and turn it to dust, and then the dust you're going to use later for enhancement. We'll get into that. The next slot is quest. Now, everything you need for a quest, if you pick up something and it needs to be turned in, it's going to go on this slot, and you have 3 pages. If you get cosmetics, they will turn up in here. And when you start getting things to build for your apartment, that's a whole nother thing. It's going to start up here. So right now, that's slot 1. Slot 2, and this is your skill trees. As you level up, you're going to get things that will enhance the way you do your spells. We're going to get into that after we do this next step. Step 3 is life skills. Slot 3 is menu 3 is life skills. These include cooking, which we don't have yet because we haven't learned how to cook, gathering, and as you gather things, pick up things, you will get a score for it, and it shows you how many things you gather. Creature catching, that's the next thing we're going in. We haven't done any, so it's blank. Summoning your creature. Now, I have account bound pets, so you will probably, if you are just started on Zenith, you will not have any slots in here. We're going to go over pets in just a second. Crafting, I don't have any recipes. I haven't learned how to craft anything, so that's blank. And then harvesting, I have no idea what that is. But anyways, that's your life skills. This is your social tab. Radio's on. As you gain friends, they will be over here. Also, the recent tab will show you the people that you have interacted with recently. This is your guild tab. I'm not in a guild, so there's nothing there. This is the map. You can move it around. You can go in. You can go out. These little green things are what is called fast travel point. Remember yesterday at the end of the tutorial 1, we got the fast travel point for here. So we have 2. One that will take us back to, we also have Brim's Tavern. But one that will take us to the Skyland if we wanted to go. And then one that'll bring us back to here. And as you quest, you'll open up other travel points. The yellow things means there's a story quest available. So we're going to go to one of these places. And the little shopping cart items means that there's a store that you can buy things from. Now, one of the big questions I get is, where do I sell stuff? And again, we're going to go back to that point where you don't want to sell anything. You want to turn it to dust. This is your quest journal. I only have one quest right now, and that's going to the wreckage recovery, which is why that circular thing is going on down there, which I am not going to accept now because I want you to do something else. This is Dungeons and Roulette. It's blank because we haven't gotten to the point where we're going to get dungeons. You have to do some quests to get there. But this is the one. Oh, currently no agent rank available. Okay, so we're going to hold off because we can't do agent ranks yet. So we are going to go ahead and you're going to level until you can get to that agent rank. So I'm going to do Mika's quest, which, oh, how come I'm not? Hi, Mika. Okay. Oh, one of the things that will happen if you try to do a quest, and this is a good thing that happened, is that you have to make sure that that button is checked or the quest will not work. All right, so here we go. Oh, okay. And this guy, so he's trying to tell me to do this, and you get points. Now, I'm not going to go into too many details, but just fool around with this. So I just socketed my Aether Spark, and now, oh, okay, hold on one second. And then you get, as you level up, you get points on how to use these things and then you have two different types on some. There's Hydrospot because I'm a healer, and we will go into that another time. But let's go on with this quest. And that little robot thing will come back and tell us stuff. But I want to get to the point where we can open up our agent rank. So you can fly, you can push, you can move through it with your left thumbstick. As we progress, we're going to get different abilities that will be surrounding this particular icon. Now we're encountering bad guys. So you want to get the drop on them first, and they will give you stuff that you're going to put in your chest, and they'll go into your inventory. So we're going to do this one quest real quickly. Because what you want to do is open up your agent rank. Now we have, what just happened was I got a piece of gear that was better than the gear I got. So now it was a level 3 boot. My level 1 went in here, and now I'm up to average item level 2. Always get the chests when you can get them. And it changed something else. Oh, I got a better pair of pants. Oh, but okay, this is interesting. This is very interesting, and I'm glad this came up. I got a better pair of pants out of this chest. I got a level 5 pair of pants. The stats are better than these pants. These have just your basic pants. You can also tell the difference and that this is a uncommon item. This is a common item, and you can tell because it's got green around it. But it's item level 5, and I'm only level 2. And you can only wear gear 2 levels above your current level. So that was good that happened. All right. Oops. Okay. So we're going here. So now, what am I doing? How come the light hasn't changed? Okay, so we look at our thing. I have to kill 4 exiles while I'm in here. So you have objectives. Sometimes when you do the objectives, when you step into an area, the objective goes away. But sometimes you have to read. Now, one of the things we have is cookies down here, and you have to keep an eye on your health bar. And so I've killed 1 exile, and I know that if I get low, I can eat one of these cookies. Also, as I'm killing these, you're going to notice that the ring around my current level is increasing, which means that as I kill someone, I got 720 XP, and I completed the quest objectives. So now it's giving me another objective: collect a supply crate. And a lot of the collecting is by holding your hand over and having that little circle. And one of the things I got for completing that was I got a new blaster. So it's in my left hand, and it's a little bit better. And I'm being attacked. So now we're going back to Mika, but I'm gonna kill this guy. And I want to check. I leveled up to level 3. And I want to see. Okay, so now I have agent rank. So let's go back to Mika. Now, one of the things you can get used to now, since you have this, is learning how to use these to get around. But here's the thing. Oops, you got to go through this circle. Here's the kick. You can use these to get around. Instead of fighting these guys, I can use this to go up here, jump over them, and it takes some getting used to, but once you do, you'll find that this is a very interesting way to travel. So now it's going to give you, it does its own little tutorial. It tells you things about your inventory. These are some of the things that I was telling you. To open the inventory, you press the chest thing, and then you have your stuff there. The new stuff has gone in here. The old stuff that replaced this launcher is here. But here's the interesting thing. So now that I'm level 3, I can now wear these pants. And now because they're level 5, I'm now average item level 3. But let's go back to Mika. Now we leveled up one of our godstones. We got some sky dew, and we got a new quest. But before we take this quest, we are going to go and look at agent rank. And it usually will say new, because every day something different happens with their agent rank. So this is your agent rank. It's like the pass thing in Xbox. It's like the thing that would happen in Population 1, where you would get different things. And they even had that in World of Warcraft right before I left. There's several parts to the agent rank. And this screen itself is very important. The first thing I want to point out to it is that it shows you the daily resets and the weekly resets. I'm on the Eastern Standard Time right now. So at 7 p.m. every day, or 1900, a lot of the quests and things reset. So you kind of you'll get to know about that. But also on Sunday, which is 1 day and 8 hours from now, the weekly quests reset. Now the reason why agent rank is important is there's lots of XP to be given here. If you look at each one of these screens, they have Zen and XP. So the first thing you see under the codex, right now you just have one campaign, but eventually there'll be a second campaign underneath it. And there are 2 parts to each campaign: guide and activities. The activities range each day, the daily ones, and again, they reset at the 7 p.m. or whatever the time would be for you. And you get 2 XP, 500 Zen, and you get rewards towards these things under rewards. These are things that are going to enhance your gameplay, and you're going to learn more about it. This is an epic pair of gloves. These are a rare Godstone, Radiant Crest. Some of these things won't make sense to you now, but they will make sense to you as you start to play. So the way you do these is you complete, sometimes it's cooking stuff, sometimes it's gathering stuff, and it's usually stuff that you're doing normally. But if you want to gain more money or more XP, you can go in here, and especially if you have outleveled an area that you're currently working in. But you'll learn more about here. But here's the most important thing. Before we're going to continue anything in Skyland, we are going to go to agent rank, and we're going to scroll down here to creature collector. It is a big part of this game, and it will help you not only get a creature, but it also gives you buffs. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna head to Blake. Okay, how do we find out where's Blake? How do we find that out? I don't know if there's anything here that points to it. But I'm gonna tell you, go out this portal and talk to Blake in Fractured Plains. A lot of times what happens is people get off of the starting area, come here, and they spend most of their time in Skyland. You'll be back here. I would really say wait until you get till you do a few things and you open up dungeons before you come back to Skyland. But you'll see what I mean. And this is AprilPvd's tutorial. The opinions in this tutorial are my own and do not reflect anybody else's. So you go through this portal. And there's another world out here. You're in this world now. And you're going to see the beam over here. And you're going to see, if you have your HUD open, yeah. Yeah, he's kind of cute. So here is where you should really start leveling and questing. Everywhere you see someone with I assume that you've been in an MMORPG, but anyone with a yellow exclamation over their head has a quest for you. This is the guy you would normally have seen if you had started in the academy, and he should be the next stop after you go to this guy. And I emphasize this because I think that the creature collecting is a big part of Zenith. So we have now completed, and every time you complete a something in your agent rank, it lights up yellow. So we're gonna go to agent rank, and we can see we made it to Blake. He's here, and we're gonna hit claim because we're gonna get a couple of things. First, well, when we completed that, we got some steps in the agent rank, which, as I remember, you're going to get rewards. And as you gain points, we got 50 points for that one. We're halfway to the first reward. We also got creature trap orbs, or Pokemon balls as they're called. Now, what I like to do with the Pokemon balls is put them in the slot where the cookies were. It's called your quick slot, and it's a way for you to grab something without going into your inventory. Now, we're also going to go over here and talk to Blake, and he's going to give us a quest to start us on our creature collecting. And it's going to tell us about collecting. You throw a ball, you trap the creature inside, and you do this to deplete their stamina until you actually capture them. So this quest that we took, called creature collecting, and we can see it in here. It's under collecting now. We have a different subtitle. We have to collect a fairy fly and a waddler. So you can see now we have the objectives up here. Now, we're going to go ahead and do that. There's so many other things to do, but this is my recommendation for before you start anything. I also suggest if you see something that you can pick up. Now, I'm also going to suggest that you just be very careful and not run into anybody right now, because these are a little bit above you. Sometimes there's an event here. You're going to steer clear of this. But what we're looking for are some creatures to collect. We're looking for either a fairy fly and a waddler. And while we're doing this, we can do two things. We can collect fruit. Actually, there's a waddler. So you take the ball, you throw it at him. You don't want to get too close, because if you get too close, it'll spook him. And then you try to keep, and you notice his stamina is depleted. So two things just happened. Oh shoot! And then you pick the balls up. Now here's the thing: you don't have to pick them up to get credit for them, but you can put them in your inventory, and it will. You could sell them later if you need money, which you may at some point. All right. Here's another waddler. But because the quest says capture one waddler and one fairy fly, I'm not going to capture that waddler. I'm going to look for a fairy fly to capture. Now, there was a bunch. We don't see one here right now. There was a bunch over at, oh, I heard that sound. They sometimes make a sound when you get close to them. But there was a bunch over at, Okay, so we're going to go back to, we did capture, there was another part to the creature collecting guide. So these quests will pop up, and you want to keep on them because it's step 2 of 6. And I should have pointed that out because now we have, for creature collecting, we have step 3 of 6, which is collect one each of the creatures around the fractured plains. So that sometimes you just want to keep up on your agent rank because it will lead to other quests, and you want to immediately accept it. So we did 2 things. We also opened up one of the steps. I need to come back because I'm too far up. One of the steps, one of the rewards, and that you grab when the wards light up like this, that means you can get them. You grab them and you shake them. And then we now have a few more orbs. Now there are several ways to get orbs, which we'll go over later. But we want to get. Now this is Mika here. Mika will show up in different places, as will Shen, and they'll have quests for you. But I want to first complete. So we're going to go. Oh, we're in a fight. I want to go back to, since we have the flight path, and I'm going to get fairy flies over there. Oh. Now I want to show you this part because the fairy flies, the pets, give you a buff. So there's usually there's one right there. So there's 2 things you can do. If you hit them right on, you'll automatically get them. So now we got to go back to Blake and turn in that quest. And and this is another pet. This is called the Falling Friend. And each of these pets will give you different buffs. And they each have different levels of collecting. And that's the next thing we're going to go over. We're going to go back to Blake. I love this so much. And I'm really, really sad that there are people that don't understand all of the intricacies, or who will. I've seen people who are level 20 and they have yet to catch a pet. Pets are everywhere. Unless you're going into an instance, and we'll learn about that later, you want to keep your we call them Pokemon balls. So now we're looking for a waddler. Remember we saw a waddler out there before. Hopefully it's still there. That's the thing I like about Zenith and games like Zenith, as opposed to like Asgard or whatever. It's a permanent. See, that waddler is still there. So I feel like I'm in a real world. I mean, it's not 100% permanent, but it's okay. So we've done 2 things. We've completed level 3 of Creature Collector, which gave us XP, gave us some money, and leveled us up. Level 4 of Creature Collecting is going into a different area to collect. So that'll be later. We have some other things here that you might want to try out. And if you're interested in it, like for instance, you can always click on them. When they're highlighted in green, they will show up on your HUD, which is the one you get by pressing the X button on the standalone and the Y button when you're in PCVR. Okay, so now we're going to go back to Blake while avoiding people. because we don't want to get in a fight. We don't have anything with you guys yet. That'll be day 3. And now Blake, and I'm going to pick up this orange. And now Blake has a question mark over him, which means we completed that quest. And he's given us 50 more balls. They may seem like a lot now, 139, but you can spend at least 2 to 7 on trying to catch a pet. So now he has these dailies. And the dailies are catching these different pets. And as you can see, they come with rewards. They give you get 50 more creature trap orgs, 1500 in XP, and 420 in Zen. All right, so let's look at creatures. Let's look at creature collecting. Creature capturing screen will show you which ones you have currently captured and how many you've captured. They also tell you the next tier. The tiers go from 15 to 50 and then 100. But the most important thing to know about each of these is how many you need to capture to be able to summon. Now, you can see these 2 pets are my account bound pets. This one is called a spring bow, and it was part of an event so that my character participated in, and every new character I make will have this pet. And these are the buffs that they will give me once I unlock it and assign it, and then they will get more of these as they level. You level these pets by petting them. This is my SNC bot, and I'm going to put a link to the page that you can earn these. You do a text-based thing on Zenith Wave, and then you have to go to the Discord to claim it. But it's a neat little pet, and it sometimes gets things. But these are the ones we just caught. And because we don't have enough yet, we're not able to summon them. The fairy fly, you can get tier 1, which is 15, and then you can summon it. The fallen friend is tier 2, that's 50, and you can summon it. And the waddler is, I thought the waddler was 35, but we'll see. So what I am going to do is go back to the portal, and this is a 2-way portal, because I want to say, I think that when you start off, you should first work on creature collecting for 2 reasons. One is it's fun. 2, it gives you a buff, and it gives you into the whole understanding of creature collecting. So this portal goes both ways. You can go back to it. I could have done the fast travel point as well, which would have the same effect. Uh-oh, did I crash? Yes. Sometimes I'm on Steam, and sometimes Steam crashes. Oh, I have to remember to edit this out. So if you're on a standalone, I mean on a PC VR, just know that sometimes Steam crashes. There's nothing you can do about it. It's going to tell you that you can't connect because you have it thinks that you're already on. Alright, so I am back here. And I have the quest. I'm recentered because I'm kind of crooked. I have this quest, but I'm going to ignore it because I want to get the first thing I want to do or show you how to do. And you can do it differently. You can go on and take her quest because there is a few other things that she's going to tell you to do. But I'm going to come over here and try to get some fairy flies. Oh, well, this is a dazzling one. And it's an upgrade to the it's a different one from the regular one, and it's an upgrade. The dazzling is different. You still need 15. They're rarer to find, and they have more slots than the regular fairy fly. And they also can be a battle or speed, so they're a little bit special. Anything dazzling is going to be a little bit a little bit better than the regular one. So if you see a dazzling one, you kind of want to get it. But of course, no. Two things though. The dazzling does count to the quest that Blake gives you, so you will get more. You will be. It will count towards the fairy fly. But what we are trying to do now is catch 15 of the fairy flies, so we'll be able. So I can show you how to summon it. You can do this while you're doing the other quest, but I just wanted to emphasize and show you the creature collecting part. Now that sound meant that there is a creature somewhere nearby. I don't see it. Oh, there. Here we go. I'm going to recenter again. All right. Now see, the red thing means that I got too close to it. So you have to kind of establish a little feel for it, a feel for how you go back and forth. Oh, there we go. Nope. Oops. For the distance, you don't want to be too close or too far away when you throw your ball. Okay, so we have 3. There's another one over here. There are other places that have a bunch too. Galleon Valley, but that's a little bit higher than my level 4. Oops. Now this is an event, and there'll be, whenever you see something here, anywhere where there's a red light, it means that it's usually a group event. Oh shoot, I keep trying to use abilities that my mage doesn't have yet. And it means that it's the alert over top lets everybody know that the event is going. And there's different types of events. This particular one is, see how it has a sword? So you're fighting someone in the event. And because I'm only level 4, it's going to take me a little bit to get it done. I'm actually going to try to pull him over here, where maybe I can get some help from... Oh, he's not coming. Okay, that's fine. Let's get the fairy flies then. Sometimes you can get the NPCs to help you fight. Oh, nope, here he comes. Let me see if I can find an NPC to help me. But there's a fairy fly. There's two. Shoot. Is he coming after me? He is. Alright, so I'm gonna go over here. Now this is what they used to call kiting in World of Warcraft, where you would try to bring some monster to another place, to a city. And what I'm hoping is these ladies will help me. But I seem to be just ignoring it. Ladies, hello. And he seems to not be able to go past here. As I get higher, I will get better. I don't see. Okay, there we go. Oh, shit. I keep trying to. They're not helping. Here's a fairy fly. Oh, that's another dazzling one. Wow. Oh, and I got that one right away. That's unusual. Alright. Oops. You don't have to keep it. Alright, he's heading back to his house. Let's head back over there. Oh, we still have 4 minutes. And I saw a waddler. So I still want to do Blake's quest. Where did he go? So you're going to get in the habit of seeing a pet in the wild and you want to capture it. In the beginning, it's going to be mostly to do Blake's quest because that gives you XP, and also... Oh. So just keep in mind that you can always duck, run, move around, watch your health bar. Ooh, here's a fairy fly. Oops. So there was a click, which meant that oh, Skyland Sales? Oh, I did my fairy flies. So I can go. And so I completed that event. And when you complete an event, you usually get something, but I didn't. Maybe because I'm too low. I've done 10, so let's look at what I have for fairy flies. I've caught 7. Oh, so maybe that was only catcher 5? Return to Blake. Alright, so now I do want to catch 8 more. I'm gonna spend some time. Okay. Maybe I had already, and always open every chest you see. And I got a new piece of gear that was auto-equipped. The hands. So now my average level is 3. But look, my space is getting junked up. That's going to be our next tutorial, is inventory management. Now there's one over there, but that's an event. Which I'm not going to get into. I'm just looking for fairy flies. Oh, there's one. I need 6 more. There's a waddler. Might as well get him. Now there are all other things going on. There's those trees. There's all these other things. We're going to cover that in the next one. But right now, we're just concerned with learning about capturing a pet. Now, some of these tips you could use while you are doing other adventuring. Now, this is an event and it's different. This is protect. So this one, you're trying to stop these guys from entering that area. But that's for another lesson. Oh, here's a waddler. And there's another friendly fallen friend. They were a part of an event, and some of us were able to get special falling friends, and which is kind of nice. If you see an event like that, you want to get into it because it's gonna mean something limited, and they're always doing amazing things. All right, so it said cannot move. Oh, I got a level 7 pants. And like I said, we're going to do inventory stuff on our next tutorial. So I'm not going to get into cleaning this up. I'm just going to collect stuff. That event is starting up again. Oh, let's look. I need 6 more fairy flies. And while I'm doing this, I am trying to avoid these guys. They have what's called an aggro range. So if you stay out of their aggro range, they won't bother you. There's a waddler, but I want to get this. I need 5 more. Oops. If you feel like you've gone past, you can squeeze the trigger and it'll pull it on top of it. But when you land on a ball right on top of a creature, it's a more solid and more, well, I guess stamina reducing. So these are not fallen friends. Those are hostiles. It's a small distinction, but that's the falling friend. That's the bad guy. You may be tempted to try to catch one of those or fight one of these. Usually some over here. Nope. Hello, fallen friend. I mean, fairy flies. I want to be your friend. Those are enemies. There's a falling friend in the middle of that one, but I'm not trying to get in the middle of that fight. Tempted. Oh, here's one. Oops. All right, 4 more. Oh, there's one. There's 2. All right. Oh, this is what I love to do. Now, oh, wow. Never mind. That one was too easy. So was that one. I like to do chase 2 for 1. There's another one. Wow, that was easy too. All right. How many more do I need? Oh, there's another one. I'm down to 53 already. And I had over 100. I had 139. Well, now I'm tiered up. And here's the moment we've been waiting for. So I've caught 15. And now, as you can see, I have the difference is I have a specification that says that it's a exploration. So the sneaker means exploration, and the tool thing, the 2 tools, means it's a utility. So now I can summon her. And then the first thing you want to do, this is now my pet. She is gonna give me a buff. I petted her. They have levels just like we do, and they can go up to level 30. Right now, all she can give me is Treasure Hunter, which is kind of nice. So I'm going to open that, confirm. Normally, as she gets higher, she'll get other things and other buffs to give me. So I'm going to put that over there. Oh, wow. I only had 1 perk point. I shouldn't have done that. But anyways, so now I have a pet. And now I'm going to go back to Blake. The other thing that happens with this pet is she's 100, and her next level is 135. As you capture other creatures like her, she's going to level up. She's going to get 40 points. Oops. Per level. So now she's level 3. And she's got another... she's opened up Lesser Speedy, which I should have waited for. So now we're going to go back to Blake. I shouldn't have assigned that one. I should have waited to assign Lesser Speedy. As she levels, she'll get more points. But I'm going to go back to Blake and turn in that quest. And then we're going to do our inventory tutorial in episode 3. So now I've completed the hard to fairy. She gives me 50 more. I got points. But I want to get Lesser Speedy instead of Lesser Treasure Hunter. Now, one of the ways you can do that is every time you level a pet, you get more points. So I'm going to pet these guys because they're low level. They take normally you'd be petting your other pets, but I just wanted to show you. So now I have some perk points. You need these points in order to assign. So now I have 4 perk points from leveling pets. So the whole guide is you get more pets, you get more points. So I'm going to clear the treasure hunter slot. That took 1 point. I'm going to unlock my lesser speedy slot. That took 1 point. And now I'm going to assign. And now when I summon her, she gives me a buff, a speed buff. So that's one of the reasons why you want pets and you want to get into pets. Plus, look, I have a little pet that follows me around. I hope you learned a lot from this tutorial. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. You have any ideas of things you want me to go over? And just remember, the next episode will be about inventory management. This is AprilPvd in Zenith. Most of all, remember to have fun. Oh, it doesn't matter. I kind of wanted her behind me. Let me see if I can get her behind me. Oops, get rid of that. Hi. Oh, I do want to show you one thing that you can do on the PC VR that you can't do on standalone. You can put a camera up. And it lets you see your character and your pet. It's kind of neat. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, like, comment, subscribe, and share.